Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima here checking out Flyhunter Origins, and I really just want to point out this loading screen here. Please wait, loading may take up to 1 minute. If your game takes that long to load, you kind of have a problem, but thankfully that was more like 20 seconds, so who knows. But the fact that you kind of need to specify that on your loading screen just boggles the mind. You really should aim for short loading times in games. Wow, that planet looks absolutely terrifyingly bad. But we'll just skip the rest of this silly little intro. So as I said before, this is Flyhunter Origins. Let's just take a quick look around, because that's what we usually do in these pieces of craps. We've got a file select here, obviously. We have our extra screen where we can go to the theater and view some of the cutscenes that have played so far, but nothing particularly interesting here. None of the cutscenes are particularly that great. It tries to tell a story about how you're trying to get some flies back that you lost off your spaceship, but So you can go to your upgrades and you can upgrade your weapons that you're given, a swatter and a zapper, and they can each go to up to Mark 3. And I've currently got only the Blaster Mark 3 left to buy, or the Zapper, or whatever the hell they want to call it. And I only need 50 eggs and I'm halfway through the game, so they kind of miss a balance to that somewhat, but frankly that doesn't even really make a difference to me. You can also find secret suits throughout the game. But as you can see, it really doesn't make any blind bit of difference what he wears. The game is just as boring, nevertheless. But anyway, we're just going to continue from where I left off, and we'll probably jump back a few levels, but, well, eventually. But for the time being, let's just go from episode 3, level 2. If there's 5 episodes in all, I went and checked the trophy list, and yeah, I'm currently halfway through the game, and I've barely played for an hour, so that never does well for a game's longevity, when you can beat half of it in less than an hour. But anyway, here we are in Flyhunter Origins, and the first thing I have to point out is that these controls just feel so floaty. Seriously, it takes a good, like, half second after you've pressed the analog stick to start moving. And I hate platforming games that insist on doing this, because they're absolutely not very good. It doesn't make the game feel satisfying at all when your actions feel like they've been delayed by half a second. Makes it really hard to wall jump, like right here, actually. And there's actually a secret area here, so we might as well go have a look. This is a weird mechanic. Now, bugging me. We'll have to go and try that again now, won't we? So there's a weird mechanic with the way water works in this game. There's wall jumping and there's double jumping, and it basically feels like crap. It doesn't really feel any sort of satisfactory, bloody aggressive spiders. This game's got really aggressive knockback. Jesus Christ. But as I said, there's a really weird mechanic with the way walking on water works, where you have to step on these water striders, and then you get the ability to walk on water as long as you don't jump, which is a very strange ability to have. Kind of threw me off the first time. I saw a water strider, and even though the game does give you a tutorial prompt to say, you know, you can walk on water after you touch someone, well, after you touch a water strider, I just thought I had to get on the water strider, so I spent like a whole minute standing on the water strider waiting for it to do something. That felt kind of silly of me. In my defense, the game just says, it has this really weird voice-acted statement about how you can absorb the ability and then just step on the water strider's back and you'll see what I mean. And that wasn't the best way to introduce the mechanic, I'll tell you that much. You also have a fucking Christ! Jesus Christ, I hate those spiders! The game also has a fly swatter and a bug zapper. The zapper stuns enemies for a specific period of time, and the fly swatter can only take out some specific enemies. But when it does, it gets rid of them entirely and gives you I can't exactly remember what it's called because it has absolutely no importance. See that meter in the top right there? You kill specific enemies and you get green orbs to fill that meter. I have no fucking idea what it does. I honestly don't. The game seems to imply it's important, but all it really does is give you 100% completion. You don't even have to do it to get to the end of the game, and it throws me off so much. I don't even know why it's there. It feels so unnecessary. Just to make sure you've killed absolutely every bug in the goddamn level. Me no like. But yeah, the platforming in this game just isn't great. It feels so stiff and yet so slippery at the same time. I don't feel like I'm really in control of my guy. And some of these level designs are really infuriating because you can't tell whether or not you're going to land on something. So, there are one or two of these levels that work on leap of faith, and there's also some really bad level design just in general. Like, one of the levels I played earlier it's basically had two layers. The top layer had holes that made you fall in the bottom layer. The problem with the bottom layer was that you didn't know you couldn't actually go through the level on the bottom layer until you got to the very end. So you have to go on the top layer, but you don't know that until you go through the bottom layer. And then on the top layer, there are several holes that knock you down to the bottom layer. So imagine that. And not to mention that the holes were designed in such a way to immediately piss you off. Like, one of these bloody holes was put right on top of a goddamn, like, not a spider trap, but like a giant ant trap, where it would charge you, knock you backwards into the hole, so you would basically have to land really quickly and fire off your gun. And if you didn't know you had to fire your gun, you would just fail immediately, because, Jesus Christ, the ant comes so fast, you never expect it. And it is such a frustrating thing to have to replay that section of level 5 times, just because I have to learn the environment so well that, I get mad thinking about it. There was a bloody enemy there. Jesus, I didn't even see it. Fantastic. Oh yeah, giant ladybug. These things can phase through walls. You know what? Oh no, there's actually no walls for it to phase through. That's a shame, but... Is there any walls over here? Hi. I just want to see if there's a wall for this thing to phase... Crap, I didn't realize that... That's another thing there. Look at that. How could you predict that you're going to fall off there? Good lord. There's a few levels in the game that are like that too.
There's the horsefly cryotube, and once again, no fly. Do I smell a pattern? Of course not. The only thing I smell is your inner ear. Yuck.
It tries to be funny, but I mean, the game's so frustrating that it just comes off as grating. This is actually the first time I've had a slightly half-decent change, but it's still the same enemies, the same platforming, and the same sort of style of platforming that's been in the game since level 1-1, and I am not enjoying this one bit. It gets really repetitive really fast. They play all their cards really early, so it just gets certainly very dull as time goes on, especially when you have to repeat a level over and over again, because they managed to screw up some of the environmental design beyond belief. The music isn't that great either. It just sounds so unbelievably generic. That's the only one I've got for it. It sounds so generic that it becomes completely and utterly unmemorable in minutes. Bugger me. Jesus! Well, that just fucking sucked. Great, fantastic. We'll have to do all that over again. At least I know there's some eggs down here. I can go grab those and get back up here. It's just dull, and some of the levels feel like they're purposefully designed to screw you over. And that sucks. It really sucks when it feels like a level is designed to screw you over and that the developers didn't really want to do anything to try and fix that. Hello, Ladybug. Hey, over here. I said over here. Oh. You can actually kill those? Oh, I didn't know that. It doesn't really matter, because biomass, or whatever the hell they call that, just doesn't do anything to help the game in any way, so it's like, why? There are a couple of other why decisions that these guys make as well. Like, there are 2 levels that I've played so far, which come with this other chick that you unlock on episode 2, but she has no weapons, so it's literally just a platforming challenge to get to the end, and she only gets a weapon, like, at the end of the 2nd level that she's in, and then you can either choose to go back through the level and get whatever the bloody hell it was that you missed in terms of secrets and all that.
That miracle of nature is a beehive, built by bees, killing bees. I suggest you calmly run to the end of this branch and jump, jump, jump!
Yeah, it's either more shockingly generic, dull, and outright bad platforming, and what the hell was that? Oh great, I fell off the edge of a... Oh. That was actually the end of the level. They tend to do that. They really do. It's like they just don't even bother giving you like a flag or something. They just end the level and you're right there. So let's just upgrade out to the final version of the Zapper. And just to make sure I wasn't being crazy, yep, that's all the upgrades you get, and that was about halfway through the game. So, doesn't that suck? Oh, it's just this game is so unbelievably dull. I can't believe you're still here, if you're still watching this. If you're still watching this. There is another type of level. I think I'm actually going to back out of this and go and check out that other type of level, but trust me, it's not much better.
Lesson 12. Exit strategies. While you may be safe from those bees...
This combat is just so dull. I haven't even commented on that yet. You just literally stand next to the enemy, hammer the circle button, and hope you get the kill. That's literally all you do in this combat. Or, you don't even really need to hope. Just shoot them with the bug zapper, and when they're stunned, then just beat the crap out of them. And it doesn't even really seem to do any damage, because it took me 6 hits to take him down. It just seems to freeze them in place. Also, the frame rate drops like crazy. That's not the kit, that's the game. And this design where the background is blurred out like that, that actually hurts my eyes. The amount of problems that this game has cannot be, like... the amount of problems this game has cannot be written down on a list, because that list would take up like an entire roll of toilet paper. It's that... Oh god, I can't even imagine how you do this. Bloody frogs. Okay, so that's how you do it. Basically, you have to sacrifice yourself. I wouldn't mind more things like that if the checkpoint wasn't so far back. I had to repeat the 30 seconds of checkpoint that I just... Spider! Okay, fuck it. Let's go and actually play that other type of level I was talking about. But you get the idea. The platforming is generic, boring, controls horribly, has no real action to it, has no real satisfaction to it. Let's go play the other type of level that's absolutely terrible and only lasts like 30-something seconds if you're actually decent enough at it. Here it is. Serenity. Yeah, best time, 1 minute 25. That's the time I got on this one. So let's actually have a go on it, shall we? So at the end of every episode, your jetpack is unlimited, and you're allowed to take off in the sky, and once you do... it becomes this. So the idea is that you have to pick up these little orbs, and then hold the circle button, get close enough, pass through a completely solid object, or at least by all means that should be a purely solid object. And once you're close enough, slap whatever it is you're going after. It flies away. You use more boost to get closer again. These loops repeat every 30 seconds. And if you're playing this on a Vita 2000 with any sort of light going on the screen, I feel sorry for you because, seriously, on these stages, if you've got any sort of glare against the screen whatsoever, you are going to have trouble seeing where you're supposed to be going. Thankfully, it just seems to take more time to get close again if you run into something that's actually solid, because some of this stuff definitely isn't solid for some reason. Like this. See? Totally not solid for no bloody good reason. If you're playing in a well-lit area, it's going to be really hard to see where the hell you're going. And where the hell the actual fly is, and we're done. Here's a cutscene for you. Just a small sample, but really the long cutscenes aren't any better. Oh yeah, and it's automatically put me on to the next level, because... Screw that. So yeah, this was the second girl level I was talking about, where you literally just spend like the first 3 minutes of the level working your way around and grabbing that pistol, and then you can either spend 30 seconds going to the end of the level, or you can go back through the level you just went through for secrets and bonuses and crap like that. But yeah, I'm totally not going to do that because I'm really fucking tired of this game and I don't want to play it anymore. This was a look at Flyhunter Origins. It's like $5 to $7 or something like that. I don't remember the exact number. Other than that, don't play it, don't buy it, please don't do anything. It's a waste of your time. Even Ethan Meteor Hunter, with how droll that game was, at least it actually worked alright and didn't do anything like drop the frame rate massively or have bad controls. This has massive frame rate drops, bad controls, bad graphics, and isn't entertaining in the slightest to play for any longer than periods of like a minute or so. Totally not worth the effort. And that's all I've got to say about that. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.